This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, good morning, guys. So we are going to discuss about DevOps course. So maybe I'm planning in this weekend, either Thursday or Friday, I'm going to start this batch. So today I'll be demoing. So what and all things that we are going to cover in this DevOps course. So why so many companies they are interested in this DevOps methodology? Okay, so what are the responsibilities that we have to take while joining or after joining? So what and all things are areas that we have to work in DevOps side? So those things we will try to cover in this entire course session. And today, just we'll go through tool by tool. So, how many days maybe we will spend and what and all things that we are going to cover. I'll share that syllabus content. Just you can compare with any other course or institute if you want. So, just where I am presenting one tool in each topic, so which is going to help you to cover the knowledge on that particular area. So, because there are multiple tools for each area. Suppose, let's say, if I develop my code and I want to build my code, there is a build section is there. In order to build, there are different tools are available currently in the market. So one company may use one build tool, other company may use some other build tool. So we can't learn each and everything, but one tool we have to learn. So later on, if you joined in a company and if they are not using that tool, just you have to adopt that new tool which they are using. Okay, so at least if you know the procedure of one tool, so that you can able to easily start working with some other tool which you don't know also. Okay, so we'll try to see. So first we'll discuss about what is meant by DevOps. So why the teams are the companies they are started using this one and all. So DevOps is nothing but one of the software development lifecycle procedure. Okay, so which is called SDLC. SDLC is nothing but software development lifecycle. So earlier, if some software company if they want to develop any project or if they want to start any new project, okay, so they'll follow some method which is called there are some different SDLC models are there. Okay, so how they are going to develop that project? So from starting writing the code till delivering that code to the client or someone who is required that particular project, so everything they'll follow some steps. Okay, step by step procedure they'll follow. That is nothing but software development life cycle. How that life cycle will go. So for that there is a model which is called waterfall model. Okay, which is a very old model and traditional model. So which is called waterfall model. So which is so many companies they are not using this currently, but software development lifecycle SDLC started from this particular procedure. So in waterfall model, what will happen? Uh, First, initially, suppose any new project, if they want to start from the scratch means, so they will first gather the requirements uh, which are going to use inside your project. Let's say I just want to develop some application which is related to a Paytm kind of thing. Okay, let's say we are going to develop an application which is related to Paytm, which is kind of Paytm. So where I need a mobile wallet so that I can able to send some amount to my friends or someone by using simply mobile number, kind of UPI. Other than that, by using bank details, I want to share some amount or I want to send some amount. And other than that, maybe Paytm, they introduced some Paytm Mall. So where we can kind of retail, okay, like Amazon or Flipkart, where we can able to sell, where we can able to buy some products in Paytm Mall. And then Paytm movie tickets is there, Paytm recharge is there. So like that, they are introducing one by one component. And now Paytm is a very big application so that they build everything. But maybe Paytm still they are improving something. Means they are adding some new components or some new functionalities. So every some particular time, like maybe in 1 month or 2 months, they are going to release some new versions, right? In that new version, they are going to improve that. They are going to add some new features which are already existed, or they are going to deprecate some features which are not getting that much business. Maybe some movie tickets is there, Paytm movie tickets. Suppose if they don't have that much business and if they are not getting any benefit by using that option, maybe they will deprecate that, or if there are any bugs, they will try to improve that particular feature overall. Okay, so like that, in order to do all those things, first they will gather the requirements from the Paytm. Suppose who is developing that particular project, they will gather the requirements. Hey, what and all features that you are required. Okay, so those things they will gather, and then they will design some patterns, how it will look like and all. They'll just draw some diagrams and all. So that is nothing but the design. And then next part is called coding. Coding is nothing but actual development will start, where developers will start writing the code depending on the requirements and depending on the design which is developed. Okay. So then in coding, actual coding will start. Means by using programming languages, developers will write the code. Okay, one developer will write some piece of code, other developer will write some piece of code. In the end of the day or in the end of the week, they are going to merge all this code at single place, and then they are going to test that code whether it is working for fine or not. Okay, so after this coding part is done, there is a part called building the code. So means that let's say developer one written some part of the code, developer two maintain some part of the code. Finally, all this code will be collected at one place, and they are going to build that code. Build that code is nothing but one single file you will get from that entire source code. Okay, entire code, whatever you have developed. So from that, you will get a single file that is called an artifact. So whatever the output that we are getting in the build stage, that is nothing but the artifact. An artifact will be prepared. Okay. So there are different types of the artifacts. So going forward, you may understand that one. But in the build stage, where we will get an artifact. So later we have the deployment stage. Okay, before the deployment stage, maybe you can able to test. There is a testing stage is also there. Deployment stage is there, and then monitoring stage is there. So like this different procedure or different patterns that we are going to use while developing a particular project. Suppose once my application is deployed, so where you can able to monitor the application, whether it is working properly or not. All the customers can able to reach my application or not. Those things will be monitored in this particular phase. Okay. So suppose if you go to the waterfall model, what will happen? The entire gathering the requirements of this entire project will be done initially. After that, they'll start designing. After that, they'll do the coding. So entire that application coding is done, where they'll go and test that one, where they'll go and build that one. And then once everything is fixed, okay, suppose for the development part or for the coding part, so this you can call it as development part. If it is taken some 3 months or 4 months or some 6 months, so until that particular time, there is no task will be given for the testing team. Suppose if there is any test bug or something is there, so the development team, they have given that to the testing team. So where the testing team is testing that particular code, so until that particular time, the development team is sitting idle. There is no work for them. Okay. So like that, there are some drawbacks are there in waterfall model, and it is a very time consuming process. Okay. So each and every phase needs to be completed in order to go to the next phase. Okay. So only that particular phase of the people will work, but remaining phases of the people will sit ideal or will sit calm. There is no work for them. Okay. So until all these stages gets completed, it will take too much time to complete the entire project and to deliver that to the client. So here we can say it is there is a deliver phase where you are going to give that product or deliver that product to the client. Okay, so where the client will start using that particular product. After this waterfall model, there is one more model which is come into the picture, that is called agile model. So in agile model, the same series of steps will not gonna happen one by one completely. Suppose let's say they will start working in sprint model. In agile model, there will be they will divide the entire project into multiple sprints. Sprints are nothing but some portion of the project, like some part of the project. Okay, so I don't want to build my entire project. Maybe in Paytm, I'm just going to build some mobile wallet only. First time I am just going to build some mobile wallet. If it is working fine and all, then client get some clarity on that particular service provider who is developing my project. So if they build that mobile wallet perfect, Okay, if there is no issues, if they got some confidence that the service provider will deliver my product within some deadline, so then they will trust, they will have some trust on that particular service provider. Then client will just give permission to develop some more modules, extra modules other than mobile wallet, maybe some movie tickets kind of thing, or maybe some recharges kind of thing. So whatever the options which is available on that, so they will try to add one by one feature. So means that the entire application development is not happening over here. Only some part of the application development is done. So once this development part is done, then this particular module of the code will go to the testing phase. Then at that particular time, the development people will start working on the second part of the code. Then the testing team will start working on the first part of the code. They'll just do some testing and all. Suppose if the testing is done, where they are going to deploy that one. Okay, deployment team will take care about deploying that particular things and all. Okay, so like that, for doing all these things, there will be a separate teams also will be maintained earlier in waterfall and agile model. So the third phase, which is called, so in second phase, almost some time is saved. Okay, so that all the teams will work in an collaborative way. So means that development team will start working in some particular part of the code. Until that particular time, testing team will be working on some particular area. Means a piece by piece code will be developed and it is going to tested and it is deployed. And once it is started working, they are going to deliver that product to the client. So that client will start uh, giving that application or app access to the end users, so that they can able to provide some feedback if there are something needs to be improved, so that they will release some beta version kind of thing. And depending on the customer feedback, so that the service provider who is work or who is developed that particular product will improve the product depending on the end users feedback. Okay, so, but what are the additional things that we are going to get by going to the next model of the SCLC, that is called DevOps model? Okay, before this DevOps model, there is a waterfall model and then there is a agile model. But what is meant by this DevOps model? I think agile model is somewhat good when compared with the waterfall model. But what are the benefits that we will get in DevOps model is, so DevOps model, everything is automated. Automated in the sense, so we have to do that automation as a DevOps engineer. Suppose, let's say, once my coding is done, so I don't want to do. Someone needs to do this building, and someone needs to do this testing and deploying, and then everything we can able to do. There are some automation tools which are where we can able to do that integration, so that once my code is ready, if the developer push that code to some place, then automatically the next stages will go and execute one by one. Means that it doesn't require that you have to say to the testing team saying that, hey, this needs to be tested. This deployment team, hey, you can go and deploy this particular piece of code, and then someone needs to monitor that particular one. And once it is started working, then you have to deliver that to the client. So all these series of stages needs to be automated in DevOps model. Once you said that automation is done, so that there is no much task you have to do from your end. Okay, so rest of the things will be taken care by the development team itself. They will go and they will deploy and they will see whether the output they are getting proper or not. Okay, but you have to do that setup everything in the starting of that particular project. Later on, if they require any new tool, if they want to integrate something like that, just you have to go and you have to start working on that particular project. Okay, so this is a kind of DevOps model where everything from coding to till the monitoring or the delivering the product to the client, so everything is trying to automate in this particular area. Any doubts till now? So this is the entire DevOps model, how it will gonna like. So now we will see what and all tools are available in this DevOps model. So which tools we are going to use. Suppose, let's say, in order to do this coding or in order to follow this method, we are going to use some models. Suppose, let's say there is a tool called Git. there is a tool called SVN. So like that, multiple tools are there, but one client will use one tool, one company will use one tool, kind of thing. Okay, so we are going to discuss that one. Similarly, suppose build, in build stage, there is a tool called Ant is there. There is a tool called Maven is there. There is a tool called Gradle is there. So like the different companies will use different tools. Suppose let's say MS Build is there. We are not going to discuss about all the tools, but any institute also will not discuss about all these tools, but you have to know at least one build tool. So mostly so many companies they'll use this Maven as a build tool, so we are going to discuss about that one. Similarly here, some tools, some companies may use git procedure to maintain this code. Some companies they may use SVN. Okay, so like that, there are different models are there. We are going to discuss about Git model. Okay. Similarly, for deployment and all, maybe some companies they may use Ansible, some companies they may use Jenkins, some companies they may use some different tools. Okay. So we will try to cover one tool from each area. Okay. So for that, just I have prepared a PPT kind of thing where I have explained some series of steps what we are going to discuss in our content. Okay. So I think with that, just you got some idea how that DevOps will look like and all. So now let me go to that PPT which I have prepared. Uh, Let me. Yeah, this is my second slide, just where I have provided some cloud knowledge. Suppose in order to learn this DevOps course, at least you should have some basic knowledge. Cloud knowledge is required, at least on one cloud provider. Either you can have some knowledge on AWS or Azure or GCP. Okay, whatever it is, but you need some cloud knowledge. So that's why we are going to spend some time, maybe some 2 to 3 days. We are going to spend on AWS only. Okay, so once I started DevOps course, maybe some 2 to 3 days I'll spend some time on AWS. What and all things are required for our DevOps course that I'm going to cover. Okay, some persons already completed AWS course in this batch. Suppose if you are not joined AWS course earlier, also there is no worry. Okay, we will try to cover the things which are required for this DevOps. So that I'm going to cover in this next 2 to 3 days of our DevOps batch. We are going to cover that one. Okay, so just I'll tell the AWS, but suppose if you have the knowledge on Azure cloud or if you have the knowledge on GCP, that is also fine. Okay, so in my third slide, where I'm just going to see the DevOps, there is a logo for DevOps. Okay, so DevOps is nothing but Dev plus operations team. Earlier, development will be done by one team and operations will be done by one team. So means the development team where they'll develop their code and there they will take care about entire writing the code and all. But operations team where they will be taking care about the deployment part. If there is any issue, there is a some mismatch between development team and operation team, so the product will not get delivered within the proper time. So then they merged. So a person who is working on DevOps, they should have some developing background at least, and they should have some operations background. Means that he can able to uh, work collaboratively with the development team, and he can able to have the knowledge on the deployment part, so that he can do both the operations. Okay, means that it doesn't require that we have to develop the code from the scratch, but you should understand the code. Okay, or you should collaboratively uh, sync up with the development team, so that what they have developed, what they are going to release in this particular version, so you have to understand those things. So in development side, you there is 4 areas. Suppose let's say planning, what you are going to do, coding, so which you are going to develop, building, so means that you are going to build the particular code which is developed in that. So testing, there will be some test case executions and all will happen. So where the testing team will involve actually. So operation side, there are 4 areas: release, deploy, operate, and monitor. Okay. So the combined these 8 areas or 8 things needs to be followed by the DevOps. Okay. This is kind of uh, See, from starting this plan stage, planning, coding, building, testing, releasing, deploying, operating, and then monitoring. With that, the SDLC model ends. Okay, so from planning to till the monitoring phase, everything needs to be automated, or we have to do that automation depending on the client requirements or the project requirements. Suppose let's say planning and coding. Let's see what is each phase, what and all tools are available. So currently there is a tool, there is a concept called SCM or VCS, which is called source code management or version control system. So for that, these many tools are available: Git, GitHub, Bitbucket, SVN, and Mercurial. So in our course, we are going to discuss about this Git, and then this GitHub, and then this Bitbucket. These three topics we are going to cover in our DevOps course. Okay, and then build tool. In build, we have Ant tool is there, Maven is there, Gradle is there. So like that, there are multiple tools which are available currently in the market. MS build is there, but we are not going to discuss about all those tools. We are going to discuss about Maven here. Okay, and then there is a CI/CD concept is there. So for that, Jenkins, which so many companies they are looking for. Okay, so any DevOps engineer, if their requirements, definitely they'll ask this: what CI/CD tool that you are working? Okay, so how you are following that CI/CD? That they will ask the interview question. So we'll see that how we need to set up that Jenkins from the scratch, how we are going to use that one. And then for configuration management, okay, so there is a tool called Ansible, Chef, and Puppet. These are the three tools which are currently having some market. So many people are using the market. So we are going to discuss about Ansible currently. Okay, and similarly, containerization, we are going to discuss about Docker over here. For monitoring, we are going to use this CloudWatch majorly. And for application servers and all, we are going to discuss about this Tomcat. For artifact management and all, we are not using anything here. We are going to discuss about AWS specific tool, which is called S3. So for issue tracker and all, so many companies may use Jira, ServiceNow, Remedy. So like that, multiple tools are there. We are going to cover Jira over here. For document sharing and all, companies they have different tools. We are going to discuss about Confluence. Okay. So code quality and all, there is a tool called SonarQube, Veracode. So like that, multiple tools are there. We are going to cover SonarQube in our course. Okay. And for automation testing and all, Selenium, JMeter is there, but it is not required. The testing people who is working on testing, so they will learn about the Selenium and JMeter kind of tools. Okay. So these are some tools which in DevOps lifecycle you will come across in the organization. So we are going to discuss one by one. See the SDLC model, how it will look like in a diagrammatic way. So in waterfall model, see, so first stage requirements, and after that design, after that implementation, after that testing. So means that after one stage is completed, then only you are going to the next stage here. But if you see the agile model, so it is a repeated kind of operation where you are doing some part of the code you are developing, and then you are building and deploying. Then again, some another part of the code it will be developed and it will get deployed. It will keep on happen this particular process. Some piece of the code will be developed and where it is going to deploy in agile model. But in DevOps model, it is also a continuous kind of thing, continuous implementation, and then continuous delivery will happen in this one. Okay. So the first part, which is called CI, continuous integration. Here we are saying CI/CD, right? CI/CD is nothing but continuous integration and continuous deployment. Continuous integration is nothing but whatever we are going to develop, that is going to build the code, and it is providing some artifact. Okay. So continuous delivery is nothing but we are going to deploy that one, whatever the artifact or whatever the output that we got from the source code, that we are going to deploy in a server where we can able to see some output and all. Okay, this entire process we are going to automate with the help of this Jenkins. We'll see that one. So if you want to see one more diagram, you can see in code what and all tools are available currently in the market. See, in build, what and all famous tools are there. In testing, what and all famous tools. So like that, in this diagram which I have maintained. See, the first stage, which is called source code management or version control system, is nothing but managing the source code, how you are managing that source code and all. So we are going to discuss about Git in this one. Okay. So next one, there is a source code repositories are there. Source code repositories are nothing but so how you in which place you are managing your source code. So you can able to manage your source code in GitHub or Bitbucket or GitLab. Different companies will use different tools. So we are going to cover GitHub, Bitbucket, and GitLab. These three tools in our code, in our course. Okay. And then build a tool. So what is meant by build? What tools we are gonna use in build concept? So in build is nothing but we are going to prepare some artifact. Okay. So means that developers will write some different files in their source code. Finally, we have to bundle the entire code, kind of zip file kind of thing. So some jar file or war file will be prepared in this build stage. So for that, you can use either Ant tool or Maven tool or Gradle or MS Build. Kind of different tools are available. We are going to discuss about Maven in this particular concept. Okay. So next one, containerization. So containerization is nothing but working with some microservice-based tools and all. As part of that, currently Docker, Docker Swarm, ECS, Mesos, Kubernetes. These are some trending containerization tools. So, but currently in our course, we are going to discuss about Docker and Docker Swarm. Okay. So next one, monitoring tools. Uh, we have different monitoring tools are there currently in the market which are going to monitor my application once it is developed, how it is gonna look like. So for that we have Nagios is there, CloudWatch is there, Monit is there, ELK is there and all. We are going to discuss about CloudWatch currently in our course. Okay. And then ticketing tools. So there are different ticketing tools which are available. Ticketing tools will be helpful to just know the progress of our project. So for which part it is completed, which part currently you are working, which part is going to work maybe in the future. Okay. So like that, some tickets will be created and the tickets will be assigned to the developers. Suppose let's say currently I am working something means I will have some ticket number where I'll be working on that one. Suppose if some other person they need some permission or if they need some resource or if they need some dependency which I have to work. So they will raise a ticket and they will assign the ticket to me. So I have to start working on that particular one. Okay. Suppose if you need to have some queries where you have to get resolved with some other team, where you will raise a ticket to that particular concern team. So where they will start working on your queries or your doubts and all. Okay. So for that, there are different ticketing tools are available in the currently in the market, which is called Jira, Remedy, and ServiceNow. So we are going to discuss about Jira in our course. And then next one. So this is how the Jira will look like, where you can able to create some tickets and all. So we will discuss that going forward. So Confluence is nothing but one kind of document managing tool where you can able to create some documents which is related to a particular project, or let's say in your current sprint, maybe you have worked on a particular task, you have to prepare a document, your manager asks you to prepare a document. So you can go and create a page or document in this Confluence tool. We will see how the teams will create some Confluence tools and how you can able to work with that. I'm just going to cover in our course. And the Confluence tool will look like this. Confluence and how it will look like this, we can able to see that going forward. So there are some application or web servers you need to have some knowledge. So currently for that, we are going to discuss about this Tomcat. Okay. What is meant by web server? What is meant by application server? So we are going to discuss that at the time of discussing that exact concept. So for that, we are going to discuss majorly on Tomcat. And then for code review. So once the code is developed by the developers, so it needs to be integrated with some code quality tools. There are different code quality tools are available currently in the market. So many companies they are using the Sonar Cube. So that's why we are going to discuss about the Sonar Cube, how it is integrated and all. Okay. So there is an infrastructure as a code, means called, suppose let's say in order to create some resources on AWS, there is a tool which is called Cloud Formation, which are going to discuss in AWS course, but there is a third-party tool which is provided by HashiCorp company, which is called Terraform, that we are going to discuss in our actual course. Okay. So some continuous testing tools, suppose it doesn't require that as a DevOps engineer, we have to know these testing tools and all. But if you are interested, you can go and learn. But we are not going to cover any testing tools because for testing, definitely a separate team will be maintained in the organization. DevOps engineer, they won't do the testing and all. But if you have some knowledge on testing and all, it will be well and good. But otherwise, it is not mandatory that we have to work on testing kind of thing. And the last tool that we are going to discuss is Kubernetes, which is a kind of containerization management tool. So many companies, they are looking for this particular tool currently. Okay, who has this knowledge on Kubernetes? So they can able to get a chance definitely to as a DevOps engineer, because so many companies, they are looking for this particular technology currently. Okay. So with that, we have completed our demo. So what and all tools that we are going to cover in our course, that we have given an idea. So any doubts till now? So meanwhile, I'll pull my course content. If you have any doubts, feel free to me.
Yes, Panindra, this is Maunika.
Yeah, Manika, please.
Yeah, so usually they tell we do require a scripting language for this DevOps course. So is that is covered in this course?
No,
I mean,
no cover separate scripting tools, because there are multiple scripting tools currently. Market is expecting someone, they'll expect some Python, someone they will be expecting some shell kind of thing. But I will be covering some part of the shell script, but I won't promise that it will be 100%, because other institutes also, they are not adding this scripting knowledge completely to the development. But I'm just planning to give some idea how you can able to write some shell scripts and all. So how you can able to use them in your Jenkins jobs while creating. So those things I'm just covering in my course.
okay. I mean, without the scripting, like, can we go ahead with the DevOps course? So that is my doubt.
Yes, currently frankly speaking, I don't have much scripting knowledge and all. I'm working as a DevOps engineer for the last year.
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Anila. So that was that.
So this is my course content, where I have included the Linux basics which are required for my course, and then I just included my AWS content also. But currently this batch I'm not going to cover AWS, but which all things are required in AWS, just I'm going to cover that particular part in AWS as well. And then we are going to discuss about this DevOps. So from this DevOps, so introduction to cloud computing and some AWS and Linux basics, I'm going to cover maybe 1 or 2 days. So then introduction to DevOps and some SDLC models, how it will look like. Then this tool by tool, Git, GitHub, and Bitbucket, Maven, Jenkins, Ansible, so Docker, Terraform, and some other tools. Just I'll give some overview, so I'm not going to give some detailed one, but these are the tools which currently the companies they are expecting. One is majorly the CI/CD tool, which is called Jenkins, and then this Terraform. This is the one tool, and then the Ansible configuration management tool. So many companies, they are looking for these three tools majorly: CI/CD, Ansible, and this Terraform. And some companies, they are looking for this Kubernetes as well. So these are the 3 to 4 major DevOps tools that you have to learn. Rest of the things are it's up to you, whether Git and all. If you have some basic, that is also fine. But we are clearly discussing the Git, GitHub, and Bitbucket, different tools that I have tried to cover in this particular module. This is my course content. I'll upload to the WhatsApp group, so you can keep that. Just you can compare with other institutes. So whichever it is required, okay, as per my real-time experience, whichever it is required for you, so just I'm putting that particular part only. So if you consider any other institute where they are trying to cover multiple things in this configuration management tool, either Ansible, Chef, Puppet, so like that, multiple things they will maintain, or they will learn for single concept only. It doesn't require that, okay, because you will not work Ansible and Chef and Puppet always. Only you will work either Ansible or either Chef or either Puppet. Just you can learn one tool and you can start searching for the job. Once you got the job, depending on your company requirement or the client requirement, you have to just explore the tool, other tool which you don't know. Suppose let's say currently you are learning AWS, you don't know Chef and Puppet. Just I'll give some basic overview how it will work, Chef and all, but we are not going to detail discussion about Chef and Puppet. Other companies or institutes, they will maintain Ansible as a tool, Chef as a tool, Puppet as a tool. So it doesn't require to learn that much deep. So depending on the requirement, later if you need Chef and if the companies they are not working with Ansible, then you can easily adopt or you can easily learn the Chef tool and all. So, and you can say that, hey, I know that Ansible tool, I don't know Chef also, they will accept because you need to know one tool from this entire configuration management concept. Okay, they'll be expecting one tool for sure. So later on, depending on their requirement, just you have to adopt that particular tool because there are multiple tools which you can't able to learn for configuration management itself. You can able to expect some more than 10 tools, but whichever the market is expecting, so that I am going to cover in my course content. So, which is specific to course, I'm just going to take the sessions maybe 30 to 35. We can say around 35 days we can able to finish my course. If we take some breaks, maybe Sunday or some any breaks in between if I take, so maybe we can able to finish hardly within 35 days. And we are going to spend daily 1.5 hour, around 1.5 hour we are going to spend. I think we can start either 6:30 or 7 daily. 6:30 or 7. If it is started at 6:30, we are going to finish at 8 a.m. So around 1.5 hour to 2 hours. Sometimes, depending on the tool or concept we are going to discuss, it may extend up to 8:30 also, but it will be around 6:30 to 8:30 or 8. So this is our timings, and Monday to Saturday, just I'm going to cover our course. So Sunday we'll take a break and just you can go and practice whatever the things that we have discussed. So daily you have to do practice, and Sunday still you can some practice is left where you can go and. So if you have any doubts, so just you can rise in the next day itself. Don't wait till the end of the course. So whatever the doubts that you have, you can just rise in the next day itself, where we can spend some time on offline or kind of thing. So, and one more thing. So once the class is over, so I'll share this recording with you so that I'll upload to Google Drive. So you can able to get that access. So you will get lifetime access. So I won't delete that recording at all. So once you registered for this course and once you join the course and once you continue, so you will get that recording lifelong. So whenever you ping me, so I'll share that recording. I won't delete that recording in the Google Drive. Okay, you can keep it longer and you can download and you can watch that recording multiple times if you have any queries and all. And along with that, I'll provide some interview questions and answers which I have gathered from so many interviews which I have been taken. Okay, so where I'll provide those interview question and answers and some telephonic recordings, how it will happen, the recordings. So direct telephonic recordings I have, which I have been taken. So different companies, telephonic recordings I have, so which I am going to provide those as well. All the MNCs, TCS, Infosys, Wipro, so many companies recordings I have, so which I am going to provide as part of this course. And then some material kind of thing. Usually everything you will get in this recording only, in this video only, but some material which some commands and all, whichever it is required, that part I'm going to maintain as some text file kind of thing. I'll upload that also to the Google Drive. Okay, tool by tool, once we discuss, just I'm going to upload that particular document which is required or what and all commands that we have to know, so that I'm going to upload in the Google Drive. So we will spend one day maybe in Linux, one day maybe in 1 or 2 days maybe in AWS, just to get some overview. Then we will jump into the DevOps. So just I'm planning to start from this Thursday or Friday. So I'll just confirm with you once the sufficient candidates are enrolled. Okay, so then I'll will cover this one. So the course fee will be 20,000 for DevOps. Okay. So once I got the payment, so then I will share that class one link. This is a free demo. So I'll share this recording. So just you can provide your mail ID. I'll upload to Google Drive and I'll share this video with everyone. So if you are okay with my demo and if you are okay with the syllabus content and the course duration and the timings, everything is fine for you, then you can do the payment. Then I'll share the class link and then you can continue. Any questions? With that, we will stop our class. Feel free to ask if you have any questions. Or you can ping me on WhatsApp also if you are hesitate to ask over here. Feel free to ping me in WhatsApp.
Yeah,
So
Pranay Kamalakar here.
Yeah, Kamlakar, please.
How about the labs or how we do this, using Ansible or Ant or Maven?
Yes, I will just explain how you can create an AWS free tier account. I'll just in the my discussion with this AWS concept, right? At the time, I'll explain how you can create your own free tier account. Just you
Okay.
can create where you can create some servers for each and every topic. Let's say if I'm discussing about Jenkins topic, so for that from the scratch I'll explain. So I'm going to create a server in AWS and I'm going to install the Jenkins from the scratch and I'll set up the Jenkins everything and then I'll start working on that particular Jenkins. So some companies where they will not, some institutes where they will not explain from the scratch, they will set up the Jenkins. Okay, the Jenkins is ready. So from there, how you will work with that Jenkins and all, they'll explain. But I will, from the scratch, I'll create a server in AWS, and then I'll install the Jenkins setup everything, and then I'll connect with that Jenkins server, and where I'll do my work, which is related to Jenkins, I will. So that we will clearly explain the installation of each and every tool, either it is a Jenkins or either it is a Ansible or either it is a Terraform, just from the scratch how to install that one and how to use that one. We are going to discuss in detail so that you can create your own free tier account and you can create a server and from there you can install just following my record or something or my material which I have provided, the installation steps and all, where you can do that installation and where you can able to do the practice, because you won't get any cost or some amount you have to pay for this free tier account. It's a free of cost, and these also all are open source one. It doesn't require that you have to pay something and all, so you can able to do that practice on your own in your same AWS account which you have.
Okay, got it. One more thing is do you provide these recordings every day, like after ending of a class, like that, or only at the end of entire training?
Yes, maybe by the end of the day, maybe within 2 to 3 hours it will be uploaded. Suppose if I am
Yeah.
busy with some other work, maybe by the end of the day definitely I'll upload.
And will you be giving any assignments after each and every class, like we have to practice, right? So
I
kind
am
of thing.
not giving. I have seen from couple of batches and all. Just I'm giving in the initial stages, but they won't be doing because they are joining, and I don't know whether they are practicing and all. But anyway, they are getting job or they are depending on some proxy kind of thing to get the job, and where they are continuing with the take of some support and all. At least to get some basic idea or to get some hands-on where they are joining the course. But I have seen less people practicing on a daily basis, which I have discussed, and they are coming with some doubts and all. So that's why, like, I stopped giving assignment because I'm giving and they are not doing, and that's what. So that's why I stopped giving assignments, kind of thing. But just I'll say that just you have to do this on your own. It's up to you whether you will do or not. Just my responsibility is I have to deliver the things perfect, but it's your responsibility. You have to do practice and have with some doubts and ask me. Keep on.
Yeah, that is fine. If you say you practice this and all, that is enough. Yeah, thank you.
Any doubts for anyone?
One one more thing I wanted to ask. At the end of this course and all, will you guys be able to complete any certification, basic certification kind of thing?
DevOps, it doesn't require to do any certification because for each and every tool, there is a separate kind of certification. Suppose Ansible, maybe some Ansible who developed that particular course, maybe they have given some certification. But DevOps, there is nothing specifically required. But suppose there is a AWS DevOps. Suppose inside the AWS also, there is a DevOps concept is there. AWS DevOps is different. Because where you have to discuss completely the AWS specific tools. Okay, so whatever the tools that we are discussing, these are some third-party tools, are open source tool outside market they are providing. So AWS also their own tools, suppose which replacing Jenkins, which replacing Ansible, which replacing Terraform and all. So, but if you learn only that AWS specific tools, it will be kind of problem for you. Suppose let's say you got selected for a company where they're not working on AWS cloud, where they are working on some Azure kind of thing. Okay, at the time you can't able to adopt that because Azure also they have their own clouds which is related to Jenkins. They had developed some tool. So for Ansible, they developed some tool kind of thing. Those are some cloud specific tool, but I don't want to go with that cloud specific tool. So if you know this procedure and how you can do this DevOps third party tools, because so many companies they are following this one. Suppose some companies if they are using some AWS specific tools, you can quickly learn and you can adopt those tools as well. So that's why I'm not interested to go with that specific model.
Yeah, got it. Funny, thank you.
And one more thing, I will support you for the resume preparation also. Once you're done course, if you are applying for some jobs and all, so I'll definitely help you to get some sample resumes and all. So, or if you are interested to prepare your own resume, so definitely you can do it. I'll provide some sample resumes and all.
So, will you be able to provide any project details also at least to show in resume?
Yes, I can able to provide some real-time projects itself. Like
Okay.
currently, if you want to put some Wipro company as some so many persons, they will be putting some the company which they haven't worked, right? So, but I'll provide the clients which are working for Wipro or Accenture or TCS. So all the companies I know some clients which they are working. Maybe you can put that as a project or the client, so that it will be help for you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Funny.
Yeah, thank you guys. I think no more questions. So with that, I'll close our recording also. Yeah, anyway, I'll close this session so that automatically the recording will be stopped and I'll upload that to Google Drive and I'll share that one. You can provide your mail ID. Everyone, you can ping your mail ID in the group or personal so that I'll share that video via Google Drive. So please ping me if you have any other doubts in WhatsApp related to payment or something. So the course duration or any other doubts if you have, feel free to ping me on WhatsApp. Maybe Thursday or Friday I'll start. I'll send that first class link, whoever paid that amount. So I'll share that link with you guys. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining the demo.
Thank you, Funny.
Thank you. Yeah, you can drop off. Actually, I'm just going closing.
Thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe.